Hello, hello, and welcome back to Divine Journey 2. Last time we rushed through a bit of Bewitchment, and in the meantime I've since prettied up some of the buildings around here, well, buildings, quote-unquote, in the pursuit of going to the emptiness so that we could really flesh out our Thaumcraft area over here. Since last time, as you saw, I cleaned up the Bewitchment area a little bit. I added a few little gizmos around the Thaumcraft area. For example, we have a chest here that holds all of our Celestial notes, with an observer right over there to get us some more. We have a mana pool here that automatically fills up our research inkwell. And this mini chest holds a stack of paper so that when we run out, we can just grab it from there. I set up some passive automations for the thaumatoriums here, namely for brass, thaumium, and magical leather. I'm not sure if we need passive things like tallow or the like later, but we might, so I have the extra slot here available. How I have these set up is an Essentia export bus into the top half and a normal export bus into the middle, just kind of exporting the normal stuff, what you would expect. And we're using level emitters with toggle buses down here. So these level emitters will emit redstone, basically turning this on once it's below a certain amount of brass. And if the toggle bus is not on, then this cable just doesn't do anything. For example, you can see that there are no use channels on this cable because these two cables are technically disconnected via their toggle bus. Redstone is not on, so machine is not on. Makes sense, right? I really like these toggle buses. They're pretty cool, but they are a little bit weird when trying to do some P2P math. So I had to leave like a sign here for myself. I recommend this if you're using toggle buses at all. We'll set up something like auto-crafting here eventually, I'm sure, but for right now I just haven't. These are going to be for manual crafts and the like, and that last one's going to be for passive, provided we don't need to make more passive thaumatoriums. If we do, that's unfortunate, because I would need to make space for that. I also added a levitator here. This doesn't do anything too special for us, it's just a way to bring us all the way up to the Mark of the Falling Tower area. Walkable bases, you understand. I also took a little bit of time to clean up some of the flux in these areas. I imagine that we're not going to produce any more around here, but you know, it's always good to have 0. It increases our V capacity and the like, so that's always good. For today, I have some pretty reasonable goals, I feel. I would like to finish up our Thaumic Energistics by getting some Arcane Assemblers. I'm very tired of using the terminal for this because it's very iffy and a little buggy. It's just kind of awkward. After that, I would like to get the Auto-Infusion matrix. I don't mind infusion crafting every so often, but things like alchemical constructs are taking far too long manually. After that, we should be able to unlock Mortem blocks, because I believe at that point we'll have impetus crystals, or the jewels, or whatever, and the conducted impetus and the like, that whole thing. After, or sometime around then, I plan to clean up the rest of Bewitchment, that whole remainder of the chapter. And after doing that, we'll be able to actually go to Arcana, or more specifically make the Arcana blocks that would let us go there, depending on how much time we have left by that point. Hence the little bonus section down there. So I don't think these are too crazy to make. This is a fusion craft of a lot of condensed crystals, but we can make condensed crystals, that's not too bad. These arcane workbenches are going to be a little annoying, but that's fine. The blank knowledge cores are going to be a little tricky. These are blank greater focuses, which are, you know, the max tier ones. These cost a lot of sodium, mirrored glass, and some primordial fragments. The fortified glass and brain in a jar aren't too bad, they're just kind of annoying steps. And the inscribing panel or terminal or whatever this is called is also pretty easy. This is stuff we've done before. So 2/3 of this is just a lot of crafting. Well, kind of all of this is a lot of crafting. It's a lot of stuff we've done before, so it's just gonna take me a bit, I imagine. So looking through all of this, there's actually quite a few things I would like to not have to make anymore by hand. Things like lesser focuses use up things in the crucible, and we need a whole boatload of elementum as well. So I think I want to set up Thaumatorium auto-crafting now. We're going to do this pretty simply to start. At some point we will make this a little bit better with things like those little bits you put on top that hold more recipes or something like that. I don't remember exactly what they're called. These things, these mnemonic matrices. We'll add some more of these at some point, but not right now. So the main trouble with crafting something like this a lot is that we need to provide each of these essentia, and we only really have 9 slots in the export bus. So we might have to split some of these recipes up. Like say for example we want Potentia, Ignis, Metallum, and Perditio on this side, and something like Vitrius, Praecantatio, Instrumentum, and Aurum might just be on this side. So we're going to start with Elementum just because it's pretty simple. We'll have this export bus request each of these essentia here. We'll make a pattern that turns Illumina into Elementum here, toss it into this interface down here, give this interface a name, and add a couple filters just so we extract from the right side only, or the correct side only rather. The nice thing about this is this will also let our crafting be parallel, so hopefully some things are a little bit faster. So let's give this a little try and see if it, you know, does stuff. What? Oh, you know what? It'd probably help if I hook this up to cable, huh? Yeah, and this basically just works. We need to add some mnemonic matrices so we can memorize these recipes, but otherwise this works totally fine. Which is good, because I'm not a big fan of using these things all the time. It's better when things can be auto-crafted, you know? Let's see if we can't craft a couple lesser focuses at that. Oh no. Oh man. Alright, let's try one of these. How about that? Because it looks like we have one of these focal cores already. So we should just be able to set this, set some Essentia filters back here, and it looks like we're running. Oh, I heard the munch. There we are. Cool, so we have those steps down. Now we just need to passive sodium, really. Oof. Yep, passive sodium, nothing too special here. We request brass in here, store sodium here, bring sodium clusters here, store ingots here. Although I guess we need to find a place to void this copper, but that's about it. We could store the copper, but I don't really feel a need to do that. Though I suppose equally there's no reason not to. We'll just leave a drawer here with a void upgrade on it. That'll be good enough. So what's left if we want to craft like 6 of these blank greater focuses? A whole bunch of sodium, V resonators we can make, and vengeance essence and mirrored glass. Okay, so let's make the V resonators and the mirrored glass. I've got some tool poppers going for those primordial fragments, and then we'll get some vengeance essence, and then we'll just wait for the sodium, and hopefully it'll be done by the time the rest of this is. Yeah, I got a whole batch of 16 tool poppets here that I've been crafting for a little bit, so this should be good enough for, you know, at least a little bit. So actually, while we're waiting for sodium, we should totally get one of these infusion providers. These things are awesome. I won't have to bring all the jars over anymore. The problem is they're a little bit expensive. The impetus mirror we haven't made before, and the impetus cells are a little bit pricey. We've seen these before. 4 crystals is nothing to sneeze at. These mirrors, however, is mostly fine. We actually have a few extra Ascension mirrors, so that saves a lot of crafting steps, but we haven't made these jewels yet. These are impetus crystals in a crucible, so we're going to make a recipe for this as well. So we should be able to just toss the recipe in here, set an extract filter here for impetus crystals, and if we request a jewel, it should just go straight in. Yes, but we need to select it. So now we have 2 known recipes, of which we are alternating between the 2, but it seems to be fine. Yeah, it looks okay. And we should get... Nice. Wonderful. We also have a quest for these 8 ancient lanterns, which I grabbed from the emptiness. Thumbs up. And we unlocked the rest of these impetus quests as well. So for the most part, it looks like this impetus mirror also isn't too bad. Again, we have basically all this stuff besides the condensed vitreous, but we can make that now. Ooh. Oh, I didn't expect that. Well, I set this up, so hopefully we can just put it here. Ooh, looks like we can. We'll leave all these jars out here to empty over the course of, you know, eventually, and hopefully this takes from the provider later. Well, that took like an hour, but now I've got these cool inscribers, or assemblers rather. I'm not sure if they need an interface, but I don't think they do. Should be able to just chuck one of these in. Ooh, that's very fancy. And we'll chuck in one of each of those as well. So can I just craft a clockwork mine now? Supposedly these are missing channels. Do I need interfaces? Yeah, so for some reason this is missing channel here, which doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me because there should be plenty of channels. Here we go. Looks like it just needed a restart. More specifically, a world restart. So now what if we request a clockwork mine? Ah, okay, good. The old one I just canceled, but the new one's done. Awesome. That is really helpful. And we can take our assemblers off the list to start. Alright, so the next thing I want to do is make the Auto-Infusion matrix. This is our first modular machinery multi-block structure, and the first I've ever built, that's for sure. It looks like there's a lot going on, but thankfully the quest has a checklist of ingredients for us. This blueprint seems doable, but, you know, not ideal. Impetus cells are quite expensive. Machine controller seems fine. Hatches seem fine. This is going to be a little expensive. We need 4 of these advanced constructs, which is going to be 4 uses of pearl, so 4 tool poppets. Machine casings are fine. We have these ancient lanterns. Runic matrix is going to be another Gaia Guardian fight, but otherwise fine. Stabilizers we do have the recipe for, or rather the research, so, you know, these are pretty doable. 4 Essentia infusion providers is very expensive. 4 impetus mirrors and 4 impetus cells is, you know, not cheap. Liquid death we do have the research for as well. This is another crucible craft. It's just going to be a few steps. No big deal. These inputs and outputs are fine. And a big input energy hatch seems okay. Yeah, this seems fine. This is all pretty doable, actually. And the fortified glass is going to be a little annoying. It's going to be another like 5 or 6 of these warding sigils, so another 6 infused magical cores, 6 Garmin Bogia. You know how it is. So I'm gonna be crafting for like 2 hours, I think. Oh man, that took a while. Took like 3 hours and 40-something channels, but we have auto-infusion. Theoretically, at least. Let's see if it works. I want to make 12 of these. Seems to be working. Yeah, we've crafted a few alchemical constructs already. Alright, great. Awesome. Constructs especially were really annoying to make, so I'm really glad to have this done. And one more off the list. Alright, so next up, let's make the elite crafting table. This thing is kind of tough. These advanced crafting tables we can loot from wildwood. Impetus jewels are fine. All these condensed crystals are pretty easy now. And crystallized mana clusters are expensive, but doable. We have some crystallized mana shards already from our semi-passive Salus Mundus, so let's see how far this gets us. Not very. I think we are going to have to just properly make some more. Well, while the rest of this is crystallizing, let's take a look at this little card here and the Mortem blocks. So I'll be honest, I don't exactly know what this does, and it takes conducted impetus, which we technically can't yet make, but probably could if we wanted to. So maybe we'll hold on to this until the quest explains us what this actually is. The Mortem blocks seem very doable. Again, the big bottleneck here is conducted impetus, but we can make that. We just need to take the impetus conductor out of our current gauntlet and then conduct impetus. Although it does take 12, which is quite a lot. We can almost make 12 tool poppets, though. We just need to crystallize more stuff. Or maybe we'll head to Omethal and see if we can't raid some stuff. Well, we got this finished now. We can conduct our impetus with this impetus conductor. And I think that should let us craft up some Mortem blocks. Forgot the heart, but there we are. Alright, so I'm going to take a little break, and then once we come back, we will finish off the rest of Bewitchment here. Or at least I think the rest of Bewitchment. Hopefully the rest of Bewitchment. Alright, so before we go to Bewitchment, I actually do want to go to this card here. Apparently this is the Wireless Forever card, or the Unlimited Wireless Range card. And this is also really cheap to make, all things considered. The only thing I actually have left to do here is take all the boosters out from, well, the cards I already have around. So we will take this, and save ourselves a channel. Get ourselves a Quantum Link card. And the quest says we can just put it in here, supposedly. Oh, it's one or the other. Oh, okay, so I'll just make another one of these then. So if I do something like this, and then toss this in, I wonder if this works, like, between dimensions. Ooh, that is really nice. That is actually really awesome. It also means we could totally put that, like, anywhere we wanted to. So I think in that circumstance, we're actually going to stuff it back here. Just because this place has a lot of extra channels and the like, and, there's no reason not to. Alright, well that's pretty awesome to have done now. That should make it a lot easier whenever we go and collect things like jars from the emptiness or the like. Or, not jars, urns. Alright, so to continue with Bewitchment, I went ahead and crafted up some extra distilleries. I made 3 spares. I forgot this was 3 wide, so I guess we'll hold on to this in case we ever need it. Yeah, and we'll just make some extra distillery autocrafters here. This should make it a lot easier to parallel craft, which should make things like Otherworldly Tears a lot faster. Something like this takes Roll of the Depths, which we can have just in a different distillery. So we can totally just take this here, put it here, and now we can parallel craft. And I think we're going to do that with things like Heaven Extract as well, because the less time we spend making ingredients for these higher tier, jars, the better. Like now if we request a poppet, these 3 distilleries should run in tandem. Yeah, that took like no time at all. Like 20-30 seconds tops, which is about how long it takes to really run the distilleries, so this is really good. It's a lot faster now. Thumbs up. Anyway, let's actually look at the quests we're supposed to do here. So we'll start with this pulling the strings one. So we need some Diabolical Veins, which seems to be mostly just a craft set, so that's cool. I imagine we should probably spend more time here than actually at Bewitchment. Next we have Traveler's Tenacity. Next we've got Flying Ointment. And it looks like that's all the easy ones for right now. So we've got these chalks next. So we have Phasing Chalk, which seems pretty easy, and Fiery Chalk, which also seems quite easy. I don't think we've made Bottled Hellfire before. This seems pretty easy though. We can do this. Alright, so Fiery Chalk we make with Ritual Chalk. Oh, how many times am I going to keep doing this, man? Alright, so Fiery Chalk is Ritual Chalk, Hellfire, a Diabolical Vein, and a Rune of Fire. And the Phasing Chalk is Ritual Chalk, Otherworldly Tears, Spectral Dust, and Rune of Envy. Oh, we get a book for this one. Excellent, you'll be a fine addition to my collection. So let's do these Shards of the Grotesque. So we need to perform the Spiritual Rift Rite at night. Maybe we'll do this a little bit later then. Well, while we wait for night, let's find something we can do. How about this one? So we need a Villager Sacrifice, and then we can summon a demon and kill it. So I think we just put all this stuff on the circle with 3 red rings. So I've got just about all we need here, but we also need a villager. Or I have 4 of these, so we probably want like 4 villagers. I recall hearing that soul vials don't work, so I'm gonna grab a few of these golden lassos instead. And I'll be honest, I don't remember if there's a village oh, no, there's one right there. Well, time to do some abduction. So what I think we can do is if we use 2 clay, 2 wood ash, it does... Oh, I guess I need to do this like 3 separate times, huh? That kind of like really used up our fiery chalk, actually. I should see if you can repair that. But not before we fight a demon, of course. Huh? Oh. So I think we do this one, and then this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. And then we put the villager down, and... you probably thought I was gonna burn this place down, didn't you? Ah, sucker! No, we're, I get if it's cheating, but, like, I'm not letting my cool wooden building burn down. I could do this in a stone box, but, you know, that doesn't look nice, does it? Alright, so, do we do this? No. Well, you probably weren't that convinced anyways, then. Oh, maybe it did work? Or do we have to do this? Okay. That seemed to do it. Where's my soul vial? I want to see if I can capture this guy. I cannot grab you. Well, that stinks. Get on, buddy. Ooh, 5 demon hearts. Oh, actually only the 1 fire. That's not too bad. I probably could have put that out. I mean, shoot, I'm burning longer than my house did. Alright, so next they want us to make 4 demonic elixirs. Oh, and we're going to need some empty jars too. I guess you probably make some extras of these. But everything else here seems pretty doable. Well, while we're waiting for that, we should probably do the spiritual rift right. And go. And the hope is that I see a ghost and put it in this bottle and then spawn a billion of them. Oh my goodness. Those are scary. Truden, are you chill? Huh. Okay. Well, I guess we'll try again. Yeah, I don't see any ghosts here, but I do see a verminous little critter. Well, we go again. Well, no luck with ghosts and night's over, so I guess we're doing something else until night comes back. Yeah, we did have these demonic elixirs finished now. So I guess we can go up here for the sigil table. This is a bit of stuff, but this is fine. Phantom bridge reagent. We can make this. This is okay. Yeah, that seems pretty doable. Alright, let's try this again. Oh, I see it. Get over here. Get back here. Get back through that wall. Yoink. Oh, I just realized that's the Hat Man that I've heard so much about. I'm really glad those skeletons are choosing not to fight at me right now because I'm having a great time looking at the Hat Man. Maybe I didn't play... I mean, I suppose that is what would happen, isn't it? You know, I didn't think this one through very well, I think. Well, we'll just camp him instead and with the fans off, and that'll probably be a bit easier to kill him. What? Hey! Hey, where'd you go? Where'd you ghost? Haha, get it? Oh, no, because it's daytime, I bet. Oh, of course. Okay, that makes sense, that makes sense. Well, while we wait for nighttime again, let's make this Sigil of Purity. This seems pretty easy, actually. Well, while we're waiting for night, we should probably do the last little section down here. Looks like we need some death protection poppets. These are a bit pricey. Seems like these potions of second chance are probably the worst things here, but we can just kind of batch these if we need to. Looks like we're going to need these for a death core, and it looks like we do use these heavily eventually, but eventually is a long time from now. You know, this is a very scary looking recipe. The only thing we need to worry about right now seems to be this Stew of the Grotesque, and it looks like we only need the 1 for this, so we'll just make the 1. So we'll make the 8. So we need 16 potions of these second chance. Alright, we should be able to make the last of our death protection poppets. That should be 8 of them. Alright, this quest is tough. No it isn't. We actually had all the essential required to make another bucket of liquid death, so this was a literally instant craft. And there's our death core. 6 runes agreed, pretty good, kickback, love that. Alright, so now I've got a few capstone quests to look at. We'll do the Stew of the Grotesque first. Oh, you can eat this apparently? Oh, it actually does have a hunger value. Alright, so what's this actually take? Demonic Elixir, we have Death Cores, Shards of the Grotesque. Alright, well, let's grab what we have so far. We actually have Toes of Frog already, and we even have a Lizard Leg. So actually, this is one of the easiest quests we have yet to have done. So we should just be able to toss these all in and make one devious cocktail. Very nice. I mean, that's not true. I know there's like the cosmic meatballs or whatever. That's the more final dish, I feel. Alright, so before we do these 2 capstones, let's get the rest of the things out of the way to get this other capstone. So to start, we need a Flame Devourer pendant. This seems fine, actually. Alright, so we should now be able to make the Flame Devourer pendant. This has a bunch of words on it for if I need the Hellfire status. So I guess I need to inflict Hellfire to myself. Maybe that's with bottled Hellfire? The quest probably tells me. And also, while all of that was crafting, I got all the stuff ready for this filled goblet. So let's toss these in. Yoink. Very nice. This is the best cup we can provide to our altar. So we go from 4145, which I think that was around 4800 before, to 4975. So almost 5000 altar power. That's pretty good. So next we need to get a Caduceus, or Caduceus? I think it's Caduceus. So we need to find the summoning ritual for Lord Baphomet, god of the underworld. Oh, we're just killing gods already. Wow, that's a lot faster than I thought we would be doing that. So we need all of this stuff. We have most of this, I think, except this Sanguine Cloth. This seems quite easy, though. Alright, so a Thame, Demon Heart, Pentacle, Hellfire, Flying Ointment, Liquid Witchcraft, Demonic Horn, Sanguine Cloth, and a Sacrifice. And we should be able to get it now. The particles are broken because my game has been open too long, and it doesn't like when the game's open too long. There she is. Oh, she has 666 HP, I get it. That wasn't too hard. Baphomet wears a torch on their head. I could have sworn I read a she in this book somewhere. Maybe I'm just crazy. Alright, so next up we need this brazier. So we look up some stuff about curses, and then we use a tag locker or something. This seems like a pretty reasonable craft though, just another witch's oven. Alright, so the quest says that, I have a death wish, apparently. So we need to do the Curse of Conflagration upon ourselves, to fill a tag lock with our own juices. Then after we get the tag lock, we can inflict ourselves with the Curse of Conflagration, and it's in the Codex Infernalis. Then once the Hellfire happens, we use the Flame Devourer pendant to obtain ignition. So let's collect our essence. There we go. And then we use these things in a Curse of Conflagration brazier. So we put in this, and this, and this, and this, and then our tag lock. And then it should just happen, I think. Or do we shift click? Okay, I googled it. I gotta light it on fire. And then stuff happens? Yes. So I can just hold right click and things happen. I don't want to break this though. That's for sure. I also don't know how to put myself out of Hellfire. So I should go to the item repair. Alright, well I imagine 2 stacks of ignition should be good for a while. So I'm gonna break that brazier to clear this Hellfire effect. Or at least hopefully it clears the effect. No. Oh, I bet I need that ritual of curse cleanse, is it? Alright, cleanse me, please. It says it has a 90% chance to work, so I'm hoping it works. I'd be very upset if I rolled the 10% for this, because I only had the 1 birch soul left. Okay, good. Alright, and finally, it looks like we need to go fight Leonard, which is a very funny name for a demon lord, I feel. The quest says he's behind, quote, all of this. I don't know what this means, but I feel like there hasn't been that much this going on. Alright, so we need an Athame, the Demon Heart, the Stew of the Grotesque, Bottled Hellfire, Flying Ointment, Liquid Witchcraft, a Demon Horn, a Bottle of Blood, and a Willing Participant. What? This says the blood of a lamb. Oh, does it need to be a baby sheep? Alright, how about now? I suppose a lamb is quite literally a baby sheep. No. Alright, how about the villager? Am I crazy? What's a lamb? No, I'm watching a YouTube video right now and it says sheep works. What? You're a sheep! You're a lamb! What if I just hit you? No? Alright, how about this? This is an ethically obtained sheep. So if I do this and this, you are a lamb! Am I crazy? This is a lamb! I'm just gonna relog. Maybe that'll do something. Okay, how about now? This is a lamb! This is a lamb! You are a lamb! You're a lamb! What's going on? What if I do this? Oh, I hit the wrong button. I heard the thing go to... Grumble, grumble, grumble. Okay, do this. Give you a smack. I hear the thing going. Do that. And it breaks! Okay, I am told you just do this and then kill it. And then wait. Maybe because the particles are bugged out, it didn't really look like it. Leonard? Hello, Leonard. Yoo-hoo. There you are. You have spited me for darn too long. Or that Mortal Coil magic weakness. What's Mortal Coil do? Who cares? I like your stick. Well, looks like Bewitchment's fully done. Let's claim some quests. Yummy. So with that, we can take off the Mortem blocks. I mean, we did that a while ago. And Bewitchment. So now we can start going towards these Arcana blocks. but we need to do a few other things first. So first off, we need to make an impetus drainer, a void recharge pedestal, this impetus router, and this terraformer here. Well, that's crafting over there. Let's talk about what's coming up next. We're going to need to use this thing, this terraformer here. We need to basically change some biomes around. So we're going to need a few of these biome focuses. So let's make a couple of these. The base here says we need Mortem, Hell, Magical Forest, and Ocean. Oh, and this is done now. Oh, this is a little expensive. This is fine though. A few more impetus jewels than I would like, but that's okay. I was sitting here for about 3 minutes wondering why this wasn't crafting. There are mana glass panes there. Can you see that? I can't. I feel like I just got trolled. Alright, so I think I've got everything together to do some terraforming. We're going to do it way out here because I don't want a flux rift near my base. So to make that rift, we're just going to chuck all that mineral wood in there and do that. And we should get a noodle appearing sometime soon. There it is. So it seems like it's probably good enough, so let's put a drainer here. We'll have the terraformer here. We need to set these warded jars around here. So like here, here, air here, terra there, ignis there, and some tubes. And it looks like hooking it up like that, the impetus should go that way, I think. And, ow, fine then, jerk. So I think we should be able to just do this or this. That one. Oh, it's certainly draining. Did it work already? I don't know why it's not changing though. Maybe there's not enough impetus being drained? I mean, it seemed like it was draining for a second. Ah, here we go. Yeah, I just relogged after disabling Thaumcraft fix, and this seems to have fixed my Thaumcraft, ironically. I've just been sitting here waiting for this to go for a little while. What is that? What is this little critter? He's pretty funny. Anyway, I'm gonna go back to waiting for this. Alright, and a while of crafting later, we can make our Arcanium bases. Is that another whale out there? What is that? Oh, it literally is a whale. Oh my gosh, blowhole physics. That's actually kind of awesome. that's actually pretty sick. Anyway, time to make the rest of our Arcana portal frames. So we need 12 of these, but we get 12 of these. So we need another few condensed stellate crystals, some void metal plates, tenebrae, demonic elixir, some blue fire stones. I'm not sure if we have enough of these. We can just move all the items and get our frames. Alright, and this unlocks chapter 22 for us. Big steps, big steps. So let's tick that off. And so I think that's where we're going to end it for today. This video is already quite behind schedule, so I'd like to push out what I have already. Plus, well, I messed up somewhere with my mana dust production, so we're on a pretty rough backlog of mithril. I feel like we did pretty alright today. I mean, we literally did what our checklist asked of us. We set up the rest of Thaumic Energistics to do auto-crafting and auto-infusion. We finished up Bewitchment, and we finished up Thaumic Augmentation, which let us get the portals to the next 2 dimensions we're going to. Next time we'll be going to the Arcana here for a brief little while. I think it's like a big dungeon maze library thing. And then after that we are going to Vethea. And Vethea is going to be a little tricky, I think. And maybe if we've got the time for it, we'll do some lightning craft. But we're quite close to big reactors, and more importantly, we're quite close to crop sticks. I think by the time we finish this chapter, we are going to stop progression for a little while to really hunker down our infrastructure. For context, at the very start of chapter 23 here are crop sticks for Agricraft. Agricraft is a mod that is super overpowered for seeds and the like, and would you look at all these seeds that can make all kinds of wacky things. Very early on into chapter 23, we should be able to get Stardust, which should allow us to get Superium Essence, and then not long after that, we should be able to get tier 4 seeds. So things like diamonds, emeralds, and even some of our various alloys like Fluxed Electrum. Heck, even Mana Steel or Elementium. Stuff like that is not far out of reach. And I would really, really like to supersize that production once we get there. Agricraft will make making all of these things a breeze. Especially something like mithril seeds. Mithril seeds would be huge. But of course, all of that talk is for probably the time after next. If that. No, probably longer than that. Maybe 2 or 3 episodes down the line. I hope to catch you then, though. For now, however, thank you for watching. Leave a like if you liked it. Perhaps leave a comment if you have something to comment upon the video. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.